I don't think beer chugging has ever jumped the shark. I will say this, though, and this is another thing for Dave Portnoy to feel good about. Whenever we did that college tailgate show, he literally said to me, he said, I don't know what the show's going to look like, but I know it's going to end with you chugging against somebody. Mm-hmm. And I was like, what do you mean? He was like, yeah, we're just going to pick a random kid who's probably a good chugger, and then I want you to chug against them because a good beer chug should be on TV all the time, is what Dave Portnoy's exact words were. His exact words were, I don't know what the show's going to look like, but at the end, you're going to chug a beer against some kid that we find who's good. It's the way it's going to be. And we did that at the end of every episode. There was one time I was incredibly hungover. I lost to a kid because I almost puked. But other than that, it was just, it was a complete slaughtering.
That one was a tall boy, too.
Yeah, it was a big one.
They didn't tell you.
They didn't give me a heads up that it was fucking 18 ounces. I could barely breathe because of how hungover I was.
What would happen if Andrew Luck goes on the old Jumbotron?
I have no idea, to be honest. I've no clue. He likes craft beers from what I've heard, so thick beers are his thing.
To look at him, I bet you he can chug.
That's what I'm saying. I think he could probably take down a light boy pretty quick if I had to guess, but I enjoy the thought of these quarterbacks chugging and everything like that. ESPN's even getting behind it now and all this stuff. I mean, they're a year behind, but I am a big fan of the beer chug because let me tell you what a chug does. A chug is a people pleaser. No matter where I've chugged something, it has made the crowd around me happy. It doesn't matter if I was at a college tailgate. It doesn't matter if I was at a college party. It doesn't matter if I was surrounded by millionaires in Tennessee. It doesn't matter if I was in Morocco surrounded by Muslims in the basement of a Moroccan rug company where there was no happiness to be found at all. I was almost being looked at as if I was a target until I took a picture of their tea and dumped that thing upside down in my mouth. And the whole place started celebrating and parading around me. The chug brings people together unlike any other drinking thing can do. Maybe a shotgun can do the same, but it's still a chug. Maybe a beer bong can do the same, but it's still a chug. But if you can down anything in a rapid fashion, it seems to be an atmosphere lifter, which I am here for forever as an avid chugger. David Bakhtiari told me, he gave me one of my chugs a seal of approval. Thanks, David. I give you a seal of approval. How about that, David? I like what he's doing, though, by the way. I like what Bakhtiari's doing a lot. I'm a big fan of it.
Out of all your chugs I've seen, the fastest one was definitely after the draft, right when you were done.
A lot of people were saying that was a 7-ounce beer for how fast I made that thing disappear. I literally have been chugging things since I was in my teens. It was a crowd pleaser with Gatorade as a kid. Then it quickly moved into Red Bull and beer at high school parties. Then it moved into straight beers until it was a 2-story beer bong with 6 beers in it. Now, granted, that thing disappeared and reappeared quickly. But whenever you can chug, you can chug. Not everybody can chug, but the people that can, it can really bring a group of people together.
To prove your point, you just talking about chugging lifted me up.
See, it's just the way if there's a down party and a down moment, and not everybody can chug and not everybody should chug, by the way. I'm not recommending this for everybody, but if you're a good chugger, I think you owe it to the atmosphere and the environment that you're in to make something disappear if it's a little bit down.
Is there an age limit on that?
How old you are, you mean? No, because the ziggy zaggy, oi, oi, oi guy on the Man Show was like 90 years old making things disappear in his gullet. And I don't think there's an age limit at all. Rest in peace to that guy, by the way.
If anything, it just gets more impressive.
Yeah, the older you get.
Wait, 6 beers?
Huh? Yeah, that beer bung, it was bad. I puked it up.
Kind of offended people think you were doctoring chugs. Like, there's no funny business here.
No, man. I'll just make a thing disappear, bro. What do you want from me? It's literally what I've been doing. And I had to retire it, by the way.
Yeah.
I had to retire before this whole chug thing started happening with these big name notable people. I had to retire my chug because everywhere we would go, people would want to chug against me. And it was getting to the point where I was chugging 20 to 30 beers everywhere I was going because I refused to turn any of them down. Because as a chugger, when somebody walks up and says, yo, I want to chug against you, bitch. It's like hard not to be like, okay, fuck you. How about that? And then wham, slam, thank you, bro, get the fuck out of here. And that was happening 20 to 30 times anytime I was in public around any. So I had to publicly retire it just to say, like, hey, I'm too old to be doing 30 beer chugs in a night. I can't do it anymore. There's another generation of chuggers, I think, coming up behind me. And by the way, there is. And I'm very proud of them. And the internet's starting to showcase them. And I'm very pumped up about it. I'm happy the chug is getting the notable fame and the notoriety that it's currently getting.
Shit, where were the chuggers in the early 90s following me around, man? That was the fucking... I'm not saying I started the chugging thing, but I drank a beer a certain way, and that was how I did it, whether I was bellied up to a bar or at a football game.
Yeah.
It was down.
Yeah, there's a couple. I mean, there's people that can drink beers fast. I agree. There's people that can drink things fast. Well, there's just a different fucking animal to a chug. I used to be able to just suck drinks down. I used to slam pitchers in college. Now, those were awesome days. Those days were next level. My friend Chris Neal, who was my teammate in college, when I posted the video of the chug with Shane Leckler directly after the draft announcement, he's from, I forget if it's New York or New Jersey or Eastern Pennsylvania, somewhere. He's got an accent. And he said, I remember back when number 40 used to chug pitches like it was water in his actual thing. And it's one of those things, though, whenever you do that, by the way, it's just like a dance circle. Whenever you do that, the entire place gets lifted. I mean, you're sacrificing your tomorrow. You are sacrificing your tomorrow for the environment that you're currently in, but it's worth it. So I'm proud of the chuggers. Here's to the chuggers. Bottoms up, cuz.
Any naysayers, just try to find some footage from the after party at Pat's New Year's Eve show. He's drinking fucking 24-ounce Bud Lights in like 0.8 seconds.
It's bad, though.
I still have those videos.
Well, it didn't end great. But
I had to publicly I literally had to publicly retire it, the chug, like, just for the good of my soul, man. We were going places, and I'd just be walking by, just minding my own business, and somebody would be like, oh, you think you're good at chug? I'm like, motherfucker, it's going to have to happen right now. And then his little friends would be around him, and they would be like, oh, we have a beer right here. You going to do it or not? And it's like in my head, I'm like, I got somewhere to be. I got somewhere to go. But boy, it'd be nice just to embarrass this kid right in front of his friends right now.
I just remembered how you used to drink coffee. Because when we'd be hungover, and because you don't drink coffee often, but when you would get hungover, you would want it to kind of wake you up, obviously. And so you would order a coffee, just straight black, with ice. Not an iced coffee. You'd ask for a black coffee with a cup of ice. You'd put the ice in the coffee to cool it down, and then you would chug the cup of coffee.
Yeah, just flip it upside down. Yeah, always wait, by the way, until like at least the group around you is watching too, so that you can do it and then put it down, because the reactions are normally pretty good. There's a couple people that are like, oh, that asshole over there. And then every once in a while, you'll get somebody in the background that's like, I think I just saw a magic trick. I had to stop doing it, though, Todd.
Right. That's the key, though. You want to be in that elite group of people that can do it so fast that people watching it are like, is that a fucking trick?
Yeah.
That's the special chug.
Yeah. There's only a few of us. I mean, there's only a few people
I've only
that
seen a
I
few.
really, really respect in the chugging game.
Yeah.
There was a kid in our last show in Youngstown, Ohio for that college tailgate thing.
Yep.
All his friends were calling me like a coward and shit on like Twitter. I was like, so when we met the kid beforehand, I was like, you're the kid calling me a coward all day? And he was like, oh, we're just joking, man. I was like, yeah, okay. And I didn't appreciate that. There was like 10 kids calling me a coward and a bitch and all. Like, my friend's going to smoke you tonight or whatever. So we chugged it, and it was the first time I ever fucking like was like a fuck you to a kid. I did not like it at all. I did not appreciate it. Bakhtiari said that he chugged 3 beers. The Bakhtiari challenge is 3 beers. I'm not sure I could do that at the age of 32, to be honest. But I could do one pretty good.
I'm sure you could.
I'm not as good as I once was.
But
I'm-
once.
I'm as good once as I ever was.
Wasn't there another story you had too with 18 and Vinatieri?
Oh, yeah. It was at Texas Roadhouse. It was awesome. It was up in Anderson for training camp, and we're all at dinner or something like that. And something came up. It was either an offensive lineman or maybe it was a local. Something happened where Vinatieri put me up basically to a chug against this person. I forget if it was somebody on the team. If they're on the team, they didn't make the team full time. They were just there for training camp. Or it might have been a local. Like something was going on. And they both bring out, I think it was the 18-ounce cup, and put it right in front of me. And Vinny's like, hey, man, you feel pretty good right now? I'm like, yeah, what are you talking about? He's like, okay, good. And so Vinny and Peyton basically start betting on me like I was a Kentucky Derby horse. And it was like, it was literally like both of them came in my ear. They didn't. That's so both of them like whispered in my ear. They're like, you feel pretty good? I'm like, yeah, I feel good. They're like, all right. And Peyton's like, I got 100 on McAfee for sure. And Vinatieri's like, I got 200 on McAfee. And I was like, am I getting any of this money? And Vinatieri's like, I got 300 on McAfee. I appreciate you, man. And then obviously what happens. And I disappear. I made it disappear and I put it down. And as soon as I put it on the ground, put it back on the table, the kid was still like halfway or whatever. whatever. And I think there was a couple people that bet against me on the team. And Vinatieri's doing like this whole like loud, obnoxious thing. But yeah, I've won over a lot of people with that chug. That chug has got me into a lot of doors, to be honest with you. I'm happy I retired it.